We've been hearing the term sustainable design a lot lately. Our next guest is here to tell us what that means and how we can help be more sustainable. She is the Sustainable Design Program Manager, cleverly enough, from Autodesk, Danby. Dawn, welcome into Tomorrow. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Glad to have you with us. First of all, out of the box, what is sustainable design? I mean, I would think, okay, it's a design that's going to last a while, but I don't know that it means that necessarily.
There are a lot of different definitions for it. I think the most concrete one that I've been thinking about just is things that trying to design in such a way that it doesn't hurt us or the environment, either directly or indirectly. So we can talk about the combination of design and sustainability and innovation in these more abstract terms, but I really try to think more concretely in terms of trying to reduce the kinds of emissions that we're putting up into the air, to impact the climate, reduce the use of water, really have a positive impact on the use of land, and to really try to conserve resources like materials.
And what's really cool is that you guys can help designers, architects, everybody involved in that end of the design world, I guess, to improve on the way they do things like this, to help sustain our Earth especially. Right?
That's the intention. I mean, all of Autodesk's customers, we've got about 9 million of them worldwide, are using resources in some way. And so to the extent that we can provide them with tools to help them make better decisions, hopefully we can have a pretty significant impact on the planet.
And of course, a lot of companies, appropriately enough, are going green in many different ways, and certainly design has played a more important role than ever before. So how is it that the going green aspect of things works in what you do with Autodesk and that whole sustainable design idea?
Well, we certainly are addressing our own impact as a company, but I'm really focused on the products that are used by our customers around the world across a whole range of industries. And so when we talk about going green, I suppose it really has to do with being able to get good feedback. So if you're designing a building, you can begin to see really early on what is the energy performance of that building, or what is the potential energy performance of that building once it goes up. So you're able to get really good feedback on how something will perform.
Yeah, because up to now, or up until at least a few years ago, it was almost kind of a hit and miss thing. In some cases, I would guess, with design of a building, for example, it's that we hope it works, or you angle it right to get more sunlight when it's needed and that sort of thing, or less, if it's an air conditioning scenario. But you guys are in a position to really do all that behind-the-scenes heavy lifting before construction begins, to say, here's what's going to happen, here's how you can improve upon these kinds of things, and using your software, of course, gives people a whole lot of options.
Yeah, that's really true. I mean, sustainability and trying to build things like performance into a building, or look at materials impacts, you end up really looking at some pretty complex sets of numbers a lot of the time. And so to try to do that by hand can be pretty tedious work.
Yeah.
And so consequently, it's not done very often, even with good intentions. And so we're trying to really leverage the power of computation in this sense, where you can actually, this is in the sense of perfect use of computation, to be able to bring in all these different complicated factors. You look at a building and all of a sudden its performance is determined by a whole range of things, from its locale, from the kinds of energy that's used in that particular location, the weather, the prevailing winds, the kinds of and all of the ideas that go into the design and the form of the building. All of those things will determine performance. So it's hard to weigh all that stuff. You can do it without a computer, but it takes a long time. So absolutely, we're trying to really leverage all that data and try to simplify the process.
And of course, Dawn's quite the celebrity here around the Autodesk area too. Fast Company put you on their list in their June edition of the 100 most creative people in the business. Now that's saying a lot. That's pretty cool to be in a position to be recognized by a lot of folks in the industry that are saying, you've got that creativity going. Those juices are flowing.
It was absolutely an honor. I definitely see this, I see kind of two things. The first is that it's wonderful to be able to see sustainable design hit the mainstream as it has in the last number of years. So
Yeah.
that's really remarkable, because I actually figured going into design that I would never work. At least that's what I was told if I was focused on sustainability. But secondly, I think more importantly with regard to that is that this is really so much a team effort. I mean, this is an effort, a team effort within Autodesk. We have people within Autodesk who've been doing work and have expertise around sustainable design that they've been bringing into our tools and into what we're doing for a number of years, well before I showed up. And beyond that, what it really comes down to is what our customers are doing. And so we can have all the expertise in-house. It doesn't matter. What really matters is that we change how our customers do what they do, so that they end up using less resources and having a better impact on the planet.
And
so it's very much a team effort.
Yeah, and you're certainly doing that. There's no doubt about that. In our remaining 30 seconds or so in this segment, I would just want to get your take on what you think the future of sustainable design will look like. What are we not doing quite yet that has you pumped and saying this is going to be happening? This is going to make it even more better. I'm a talk show host. More interesting and certainly better for all involved.
Scaling it. I think that we have a lot of wonderful technologies and ideas and concepts and precedents out there in the world, in the marketplace. We're certainly going to see more technological innovation and more new ideas. But what we really need to see right now is rapid uptake of a lot of these ideas globally.
Gotcha. Well, you're convincing me and doing a very good job of it. So keep
great.
up the good work, Don. We
Thank you.
appreciate you joining us here at Autodesk Gallery, and this is your home, so thanks for having us.
Cheers. Thank you.
All righty.
Good to have
Don
you.
Danby, Sustainable Design Program Manager with Autodesk. Autodesk.com, of course, for more info. We'll link you to Don's site and, of course, all the guests on today's show, as always. We're back with more from San Francisco, California. I'm Dave Graveline on the Advanced Media Network.